Now we welcome in Argo running back Leroy Wilson. We had a big weekend last weekend. Thanks so much for being on with us today. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for having me on the show.
Had to be fun. Obviously, it was a tough game, but you came out, really sparked the offense there in the second half on the road at West Alabama. That had to feel good to kind of get things going there offensively a little bit.
Right, it felt good. It always feels good to come in and give the offense a spark. Those 5 guys up front, they did an excellent job, creating creases, creating lanes, and I was just taking advantage of those.
Obviously, a tough outcome in that game. You guys were certainly in it. The score really doesn't dictate how well played that game was and how close you guys were in that game. Where do you guys feel like you're at as a team right now with 2 big games left?
As a team, we still have a lot to play for. Those guys in the locker room, we know that, whenever we play at our best, we're able to compete with anyone in the GSC. The guys in the locker room, we know that these last 2 games are very big, very crucial games, must-win games, and we're going to take that into consideration, during preparation this week.
You're kind of a physical runner. Running back in the GSC is always going to be a physical runner. You guys take a pounding. What was it about that position that kind of made you embrace that when you were younger and realize that's what I want to do?
Well, when I was younger, I was always the fastest kid of the group. So, my father just stuck me out there at running back, and I stuck with it ever since. Ever since I was 4 years old, I've been playing that position.
Is there anything in particular about the position? Is it breaking into space? Is it bouncing off a big hit? Is there anything that really kind of gets the juices flowing?
I feel like it's the most exciting position on the field. You can make plays whenever, however you can help the team out. So.
Anybody in particular you watched growing up?
No one in particular growing up, but currently, I'm a huge Dalvin Cook fan. Being from Miami, I watched him at Miami Central and followed him to Florida State. And, watching him now, well, not now because he's hurt, but watching him at Minnesota.
Not a bad running back to keep an eye on, that's for sure. Hopefully he'll get healthy soon. Dolphins fan growing up, correct?
Kind of forced to be a Dolphins fan. I'm sorry out there to all the Dolphin fans, but, I was forced to be a Miami Dolphins fan. I'm from Miami. I cheer for them. They have a few good players. And
yeah. Well, they've had some guys to cheer for over the years, so that's not all bad. It's just maybe in recent years it's been a little more lean.
Yes, sir.
And that happens. We've all been there. If you're a diehard fan of any team, you're going to go through the lean years.
Right.
This team, going back to the Argos now, this is a special group. When you look at where this team is and where you guys are at, you have a sense collectively of how close you are to getting over the hump?
We're very close. And, when we go back and watch film, especially like we just watched film on West Alabama, it's the small things, our coach preaches that to us. It's the small things that really matters. And we're just a few plays away from, winning those games. And, just those are just things we have to take in mind and consideration when practicing. We can't take things for granted. It's the small things are going to get us over the hump.
When you go back and watch film, a game like that, how much does that fuel the fire to get back out on the field and kind of take that next step, I guess?
That loss, it put a bitter taste in our mouth. And I know those guys in the locker room, they're hungry for revenge, and we're going to take it out on North Al. So.
Well, it should be a fun one this weekend. Obviously, a big game against North Al coming up. Home finale as well. I'm sure that's a little added motivation too.
Yes, sir. All the seniors on the team, this is going to be our last game at Blue Wahoos. So, special place in our heart for this game as well.
All right, we'll go out, play well, and look forward to seeing you out there.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much for stopping by.